Good morning. I'm the Ombudsperson for all graduate students at the University of Maryland. No matter what program you're in, you have the right to come to the graduate school and reserve some time to be with the Ombudsperson. Well, what is an Ombudsperson? An ombudsman is a person who connects a large institution to ordinary people, or individuals who have questions or problems dealing with complex questions. Sometimes I simply answer questions that students may have. How many years do I have to get a degree? How many people do I have to have on my master's committee or on my doctoral committee? Those are the easiest times that I have. Other people bring complicated questions. And we'll get into that more in a few minutes. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Katherine McAdams. I'm Professor Emerita, which means that I'm retired but still active on campus. I work part-time. I work 20 hours a week. I'm here mostly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I was a journalism professor for many years and then worked as Associate Dean in 2 different settings. So I know most of the things that happen on campus, but lately there are so many changes that we all have to do research and work to keep up with what's happening here. Maryland is a great place. It is a living organism, always changing and always evolving. I envy you the opportunity to be here and to engage in graduate study. Welcome. Now, on to the business of ombudsing. Now we're going to spend a few minutes talking about when you might want to think about coming to the graduate school and making an appointment, or calling and making an appointment to see the Ombudsperson. Very often students have problems that they feel they don't want people in their department involved in their daily lives to know about. And I'll be glad to talk with you about those. Very often I refer people out to other sources on campus. You may need to talk with someone in the counseling center, in the learning assistance service if you're having study skills issues. You may want to talk with a reference librarian. You may want to seek graduate student legal aid because you're struggling with a rent issue. There are all kinds of things that we can talk about. The most frequent visits are about relationships. People in your lab who are puzzling to you, or who you feel are stressed because you're there, or you're stressed because they're there. Probably the most common relationship issue is getting along with advisors and with professors. Most people on campus who are academics are super busy. They get an average of 80 to 100 emails a day. Face-to-face conversation is hard to come by. So sometimes things feel a little clipped. You may feel shortchanged in your exchange with graduate faculty or with any faculty. Staff, too, are pressed. We are in times of budget shortages. Many people are doing more than one job. If you're puzzled and you feel that you're not getting good answers or enough time, please come and let us know, and we'll see what we can work out for you. There's a list of reasons that people come to the graduate school, and it has several points. If you feel that your concerns on campus are not being listened to in any way, if you feel that you have run into bureaucratic red tape, if you are confused about university policies, I think university policies, like the rest of the university, is evolving and growing. So please check with us for the latest policies if you think that you are confused about what is permitted and not permitted. If you feel the university is not sensitive to your needs for disability support, for diversity support, for LGBT support, any type of issue that has to do with your personal identity and your personal needs, no matter how private, we will be glad to talk with you. If you would like to mediate a dispute, if you and anyone on campus are having disputes about the way that your TA-ship is managed. Perhaps, for example, you may have issues about your curriculum, about the time limits on your degree. If people will sit down and talk in the graduate school, very often those things can be worked out. We've had as many as 12 people around a table in a conference room at the graduate school working on complicated issues and coming to satisfactory agreements about a number of questions. Nothing is too big or too small. Please come and talk about anything that is troubling you. Now, you're going to receive in a few minutes 2 materials that will help you better understand what the Ombuds Office can do. One is a fact sheet on mentoring. It looks a little bit like this. It also appears on our graduate school website. It will tell you how to begin a relationship with a mentor. Now, mentors are key to graduate education, and you need more than one. I think a lot of us think we will have one mentor, and that mentor will be our advisor. But your mentor very often is someone on the sidelines or a member of your committee rather than your principal advisor. So read this information, give it a lot of thought, and then as you're moving through your program, keep your eyes out for people who would be good mentors. I think it takes several good mentors during your graduate education as you get to different stages of graduate study. I know that for teaching, I had one mentor, a great mentor. In graduate research, I had another mentor. And for writing, I had yet another mentor. My advisor was wonderful, but he was part of the leadership team of my college and had very limited time. He was a great inspiration, but a lot of my support came from other people who were around me. So keep that in mind as you move through. Another thing that you will be given is, of all things, a bookmark. Now, what could seem more dated in our era of technology than a bookmark? But it's to remind you that a lot of the wisdom that you're going to gain in graduate school is still in books and around you in old things, in historic things, in classic things. And every now and then pick up a book. Listen to people talk about Plato. Listen to people talk about Simone de Beauvoir. And seek to know who these people are. You're going to have a graduate degree, and you'll want to know many things that are not necessarily electronic or virtual. They're still in books. This bookmark will guide you to the Ombuds office in 2 ways. One is that it will tell you when you need to come. And on the other side, it tells you who I am and where I am, what my email is, and what the telephone numbers are in the Lee building. You can call anytime. Everything is confidential. From that first call, no matter who picks up the phone, whether if it's at the front desk, in the graduate school, any person on our financial staff at the graduate school, no matter who answers the phone, say I have an Ombudsperson issue, and even the fact that you have called is confidential. All our records are confidential, and sometimes we wipe the computer hard drives clean just to be sure that things are confidential. One more tip before I go, and that is we have a book that's recently come out called Lean In. There are many opinions about this book, but I just like the concept of Lean In. When you're in graduate school, don't sit back and be an observer. Lean in. Come to the table. Be at the table. Don't be like so many of my former freshmen and sit at the back of the room. Come forward, sit at the table, engage, Share your ideas. Graduate students, fresh from the outside world, have the very best ideas. Also, when it comes to your graduate committee, to your dissertation, to papers that you're writing, to proposals for new experiments or new products, lean in there too. If someone says, oh, that'll never work, lean in. Give them your ideas. Don't just go away. Make a case for yourself. Seek the opinions of many people. Don't back down, and you'll have a great graduate education. I wish you all tremendous luck, and I hope, actually, not to see you. But if you come to the graduate school for any issue, we will figure it out. Hope to see you on campus, in the union, in the library, in your many departments. Best to you.